They say hotels hold more secrets than their walls can tell. But for one traveler, what began as an ordinary overnight stay turned into an encounter with something that shouldn't exist, a room that no one else remembered. In November of 2003, a man named David Harris was driving through rural New Mexico. After 10 hours on the road, he decided to stop for the night at a small roadside motel called the Desert Palms Inn, a two-story building surrounded by nothing but sand and silence. He parked his car, walked into the lobby, and was greeted by an older woman at the front desk. She checked him in without issue and handed him a brass key. "Room 237, she said. David carried his bag upstairs. The hallway was quiet, the kind of quiet that makes you hear your own heartbeat. He found room 237 at the far end. The door creaked open, revealing a plain but clean room. Beige wallpaper, a small TV, a single bed, and a strange humming sound that seemed to come from inside the walls. That night, David couldn't sleep. Around 2:47 a.m., he woke up to the sound of footsteps in the hallway. He opened the door, but the corridor was empty. Still, the sound continued, as if someone were walking right past him, but invisible. He closed the door, locked it, and decided to check out early in the morning. When he went downstairs, the same woman wasn't at the desk. Instead, there was a younger man in his 30s. David handed over the key and said, "Thanks. Room 237 was comfortable, but you might want to check the air vents. There's some weird noise up there." The man frowned. "Sir, we don't have a room 237. David thought he misheard. He explained, described the hallway, even pointed toward the staircase. But the clerk insisted. The motel only had 26 rooms, ending at 236. They even pulled out the building layout to show him. Room 237 didn't exist. It never had. Confused, David went outside. But when he looked back at the building, he saw something that froze his blood. Where room 237 should have been, the corner of the building looked sealed. No window, no sign of a door, just a solid wall of faded paint. He went back inside, demanding to see the woman who checked him in the night before. The clerk said, "There's no woman here. My mother owned this place years ago, but she passed away in 1999. David quietly left. He took a photo of the motel from the parking lot before driving away. Later, when he developed the film, in the picture on the far right side, faintly visible in the sunlight, there was a door labeled 237. But when investigators returned weeks later, that same wall was solid concrete. No trace of a room, a door, or any renovation. Local newspapers later noted that the Desert Palms Inn had experienced a series of mysterious accidents in the early 1990s. One involved a man found dead in a locked room, room 237, though official records of that incident were later lost in a flood that destroyed part of the town archives. When paranormal researchers visited the site in 2004, they discovered unusual magnetic readings and temperature drops along the wall where room 237 should have been. To this day, the Desert Palms Inn remains open, though the rooms end at 236. Guests report strange knocking sounds at night, and several have said they hear a faint whisper outside their door. Do you have a key? Whether David Harris stepped into a forgotten piece of time, or a place that briefly slipped between worlds, no one can say for certain. But if you ever find yourself in New Mexico, and you pass a quiet little motel with a faded sign reading the Desert Palms Inn, you might want to count the doors twice, because one of them may not be meant for you.